First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, thank you for joining us, whether you're watching on our apps, our website, or social media on Facebook or YouTube. Appreciate you being here. You can go to all of those places as well and watch our past segments or share the segments, whatever you want to do. Right now, we are talking about something that is partly coming up here on November 12th, but also happens all the time. I'm talking about the Metropolitan Youth Symphony. There is an event, though, that they have coming up where they have their performers writing to animation. We're going to discuss all of that in much more detail with the experts, and that's why I'm joined by them right now to talk all about this. We have Raul Gomez Rojas, who is the music director, and Carrie Javeri, who is the head of the co-laboratory. I hope I have those titles correct. I apologize if I don't, but Raul and Carrie, thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
This is such an interesting project and such a neat thing that's going on, but I think give everybody a little bit of a background and better understanding, can you talk to us about what the Metropolitan Youth Symphony is?
Sure, yeah. Metropolitan Youth Symphony is a large nonprofit organization based in Portland, and we play music with wonderful young people. We have 15 ensembles, we have full orchestras, we have string ensembles, percussion, flute, band, jazz at all levels of experience. And our very top orchestra, our most advanced ensemble, which I conduct, is the group that will be premiering and performing this piece of music called Music for an Imaginary Cartoon, created by young composers from Portland. And we're so excited to be collaborating with Carrie and the folks over at the Portland Museum of Art Center for Untold Tomorrow to create the brand new animation for the music made by local young animators.
And I love that idea of writing to an imaginary cartoon and you know what that takes to go into it, because if you're any kind of fan of animation, there's a lot that happens to that. So that's got to be a really interesting project. I'm curious how that came about. And Carrie, I don't know if you want to answer that or if Raul, you do, but how did this whole idea happen?
Sure. So I am at the Portland Art Museum Center for an Untold Tomorrow, as Raul mentioned, and our Minor Wright, senior curator of photography, Julia Dolan, reached out to me and said that she had a friend who was working on this project with young musicians, and were we interested in creating an animation for that? Kind of cool, because we had just had Pinocchio and we had just spent the whole summer doing animation camps. And I had seen how excited our students and their parents were to be able to make that kind of art. And so I reached out to the folks over at the Metro Youth Symphony, and the rest is history.
And Raul, how did you feel about that when you heard about this idea of this kind of pairing?
You know, our program where we commission brand new music from local young composers, we do that in partnership with Fear No Music and their Young Composers Project. And I hope folks will look that up, because it's a really fantastic program. These are high school kids creating brand new music for full symphony orchestra. And my friends and colleagues, Jeff Payne and Ryan Francis at the Young Composers Project, came up with the idea of creating music for an imaginary cartoon. And this is part of a years-long collaboration where we empower young composers to write. And one of the exciting things about the project is that, you know, when composers write music for animation, generally the animation is done, and they write the music to match the animation. This is the other way around. So our young composers are creating something that's, you know, completely brand new, and then we're going to perform it and record it. We're going to send it over to Carrie, and then their animators are going to have the challenge of creating an animation to the music that's already been created. So it's sort of unique and very exciting. And at the center of it is just the talent of our young people here in Portland and surrounding areas.
Yeah, that talent on both sides of the table there, for everything that's coming together. That's tremendous. So for the students themselves, you know, how do you go about writing for an imaginary cartoon that doesn't exist? Like, what are the first steps they have to do to even think about it?
After the young composers were selected, their teachers, faculty from the Young Composers Project basically gave them a homework and said, you write 1 minute of music that could be for a chase, and you write 1 minute of music that could be a romantic scene. And then they sort of like put it all together as one single piece with a, abstract narrative built in for the animators to take it from there.
That's really cool. And then, Carrie, so they're going to receive this music, and then the animators are then going to go to work.
Yes, actually, our animators have already gotten started. We got a rough cut of the music. We had our first class session. Our students spent about 4 hours together. We have an amazing animator that we worked with over the summer. His name is Andreas Eduardo. He's leading the program, and there are 7 students that are collaborating. And I think that, to me, is the coolest part of this program, that the animators had to get together. They have to come up with a storyline and characters and storyboard and think about what this is going to look like as paper animation, because they'll be doing some sort of flat 2-dimensional, and they'll also be animating as clay animation, so doing something that has a little more form. And they really have to be on the same page. So how do you collaborate with 6 other artists to come up with something that tells a good story, that is compelling to watch, that captures the spirit of the music? I was so amazed to see them working together. I was really pleased with how they listened to each other's ideas, and they came up with community agreements about how they were going to work together. It was a really good start to our collaboratory program this year. Great opportunity for both the young composers, but our animators as well.
Yeah, everybody across the board. And that's true, because animation, just like anything else, there's every kind of different vision and different way that somebody would go about it that I'm sure they could possibly think of. So having to come together and collaborate with that's, I imagine, a challenging but fun exercise.
I think for students, this is such good preparation for life, right? Whether our students decide to become, musicians and join a symphony as adults, go to school that way, or our animators, go to work for Shadow Machine down the road, it doesn't matter so much as the soft skills that they're developing, to be able to work in a team, to be able to talk through your ideas in a good way, to be able to navigate conflict, or these kinds of things that come up for us in the real world when we're working with colleagues. And so I know that Raul and I were really excited when we were talking about this project for just that reason, because it's such good life preparation for our students.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and Raul, from your standpoint too, what went into, I guess, how were the musicians selected for this specific project?
They're all students of the Young Composers Project, which is, it's a large program from Fear No Music, and they have been around for over 25 years. So all these young composers start learning how to write first for smaller ensembles, and as they gain experience over the years, eventually they're selected to write for the Authentic Voice, which is the name of our partnership with Metropolitan Youth Symphony, and then they get to write for full orchestra. They get their music rehearsed, workshopped, and performed by our most advanced young musicians. And the truth is that even for adult professional composers, sometimes it can be pretty hard to get music for full orchestra performed and recorded. So this is, I think, a very unique partnership that allows these young composers to learn a lot. As Kira was saying, not only about music, but about many other skills that they can apply in other areas of their life. But then also they can add a full orchestra piece to their portfolio. So if they're planning to, study music, become professional composers, that opens doors in a very real way to top conservatories. And we already have alumni, some of the best music schools in the world, honestly, studying composition, who have been through this program. And to me personally, it's exciting to just see how it's all elevated by a partnership and collaboration with the young animators from Carrie's team.
We're taking a look there just at a past performance of the symphony as well. Just amazing, all these students working together there. And I believe is that you right there? I think so.
That's me waving that stick. That's right.
Nice. Well, talking about this collaboration of arts between the animation, the musical side, all of that. How important do you think arts education is to students right now, especially to youth?
Well, I think, we know based on what we're hearing from our Surgeon General, from parents, from teachers, a lot of our students are in a really tough place after the pandemic. And I think that making art, whether it's animation or photography or virtual reality or music, is a way for students to tell their stories, way for youth to be seen. That's really important. I think the thing that I love so much about the arts is the way it connects us. I get to learn about other people and other time periods based on, those stories that come through in a painting or a photograph or a piece of music. And so I think collaborations like this one, where we can celebrate the creativity here in Portland, the stories that we learn from our students, from our artists, really important, important to connect us as people, important to connect us as a community. And bolstering, supporting the idea of creativity staying here in Portland, right? We're creating the next generation of artists with programs like these.
Rule, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And one thing that I think we share in our programs is that through what we teach and through what we do and through the arts, we are inspiring and empowering young people to excellence. But we do so in a way that honestly is fun, and in a way that is, aware and sensitive also to all the pressure that young people are under, that so often affects their mental health, their relationships, their lives in and outside of home. So through the arts and through these collaborations, while, reaching for excellence and learning and growing every single day, they also form this community, and you can see it in a very direct example in an orchestra, just a bunch of young people sitting together, doing something together that requires a lot of skill. But if you go to the concert and you look around, you see smiles, and you see bright eyes because they're taking part in this act of real-time collaboration and communication. And it's very inspiring to see also, I think I can speak for both of us, Carrie, as educators and as adults, to see young people doing all those things together.
Well, and let's talk about the actual concert. You mentioned that. So this is coming up, this one in particular. Tell us about that, and what can people expect when they walk in the door to go to this?
Oh, yes. The concert is Sunday, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall. And the whole concert is actually centered around animation. The centerpiece, of course, is this project we're doing with the piece called Music for an Imaginary Cartoon. But also in the rest of the program, we're performing music that has been used for animation and music that has been created for animation. So two selections from the original Disney Fantasia from 1940 that people will recognize, The Sorcerer's Apprentice and Night in Bald Mountain. We're also playing music by Alan Menken from Disney's Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid. We're playing music from My Neighbor Totoro. So it's a celebration of animation, art, and creativity through music.
What do you think it is about the partnership between a symphony and animation that works so well?
Both are storytelling vehicles where, your imagination is the limit. What do you think, Carrie?
Yeah, I think that's a great summary. I think too, it's about that collaboration, right? So we're just building on what our students are doing, always looking for ways to connect with other arts education orgs to make sure our students get opportunities like this one.
And can I add, Greg, one more thing about the concert? We will play, perform, and record this brand new piece of music for the animation. But then later this season, on our season finale concert on June 16, also at the Schnitz, we will screen the final animation and we will play the music again live to the screen. So people who come to the concert this Sunday will be there for the recording. And then if they come back June 16, they'll experience the whole package again with live music and with the big screen at the Schnitz.
Nice. Well, I mean, clearly that'll be a really monumental experience having all of those come together there for June 16th, but still really incredible here on the 12th, getting to see all those different performances. And for each of you, just to let everybody know, where can they go to find out more information about each thing that you do?
So we are part of the Portland Art Museum. If you go to the Portland Art Museum's website, pam.org, you can find out more about Portland Art Museum's Center for an Untold Tomorrow, PAMCOT.
And Metropolitan Youth Symphony, our website is playmys.org. We currently are accepting new students and all instruments for all levels of experience and registration, as well as tickets and information about this concert coming up on Sunday. They're all at playmys.org.
Well, thank you very much to both of you for spending some time to talk to us about this really unique and neat project that you're doing there. Best of luck with that, but it sounds like it's a lot of fun, really, on top of everything else. So just congratulations on that. And thanks for joining us here on Fox 12 Now.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. And for everybody watching again, really cool to learn about these different projects and things that are going on here in Portland. And this is bringing a lot of, obviously, youth together, animation, symphony, and combining them into one. And that's all part of the arts programs that are happening here in the city of Portland. But I appreciate everybody who's tuning in too and watching this and learning about this and wants to find out more. They just gave their websites right there, so a great place to go and check that out. And of course, the concert coming up on November 12th here, this coming Sunday, depending on when you're watching, which maybe you're watching after the fact. This is a great place wherever you are, whether you're on our social media channels, you're on our website, or you're on our apps, to find the different interviews and segments that we get to do. And we try to bring you a wide variety of different things that we talk about, whether it's events or important things that you should know, or even breaking news. If breaking news happens between 1 and 4 p.m. on a weekday basis, this is the place to go, because we'll be right here with you. With that being said, we're going to sign off for right now, but feel free to email me anytime, fox12now@kptv.com. That's fox12now@kptv.com. If you have an idea for a segment, if there's a story that you've seen on our regular news programs and you're like, I want to find out more about that, can we talk to the reporter? Can maybe they do a deeper dive? There's a good chance that can happen. So you just have to email me. Let me know about it, and I'll see what I can do. But that's it for right now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.